Share the Clarke County Democrat with a friend. Use coupon code PODCAST to get the first month for just 99 cents. Clarke County Training School opened in 1921. The common belief has always been that the old Clarke County Training School in Coffeyville was the first high school for African Americans in the county. A news item discovered recently in a 1922 mobile newspaper backs that up. The Press Forum Weekly, apparently a newspaper that served the black community, reported in its June 3, 1922 edition that the school had just completed its first year of operations, which meant it would have opened in the fall of 1921. The news item was datelined Coffeyville, May 27, and labeled as special to the weekly press, which would indicate it was a submitted article. Please note that Negro and colored were commonly acceptable terms for the times. Clarke County Training School was one of just 16 schools of its kind in the state. That first year there were 178 students under the direction of 3 teachers, including the principal, T.B. Bonner. 5 students, including 1 young man, were promoted to the 8th grade and received certificates. The closing exercise was apparently a big event. Addresses were given by Reverend A.F. Owens, Dean of Selma University, and by Professor M.H. Griffin, Director of County Training Schools for Negroes in the Alabama Department of Education and a field agent for the Rosenwald School Fund. The Rosenwald School program helped build more than 5,000 schools, shops, and teachers' homes across the nation for blacks. The project was the product of a partnership of Julius Rosenwald, a Jewish-American clothier who became part owner and president of Sears, Roebuck and Company, and the African-American leader, educator, and philanthropist Booker T. Washington, who was president of Tuskegee Institute in Tuskegee, Alabama. Additionally, a number of white citizens from Coffeyville and Clarke County attended the program, including Professor W. O. Birdshaw, who was principal at Coffeyville High School. The other guests included C. T. McCorkadale, J. G. M. C. Corkadale, H. E. Bain, J. T. White, H. W. Porter, John T. Pittman, and C. C. May. The article detailed the location and how the school came to be. The plant is situated near Coffeyville, and it consists of 2 frame school buildings and 40 acres of land. The land was purchased several years ago for school purposes by enterprising and prosperous Negro farmers of the county under the leadership of Ryle Thornton, and when the buildings were constructed, the 40 acres were donated to the state. The Rosenwald School building cost $2,000, of which amount the colored people themselves paid $1,600. The county training school building finished recently cost $7,000, including equipment, of which amount the state furnished $1,800, Julius Rosenwald $1,400, General Education Board New York $1,200, white citizens $669, and the colored people furnished the balance, including the land valued at $1,500. It is interesting to note that the local black community contributed the most, in cash and property, for the school. Local black citizens and farmers were trustees for the Clarke County Training School. H. T. Thornton, Riles Williams, Gail Pace, E. A. Gill, Will Thornton, and James Thornton. School burns. The main school building burned October 25, 1954. News reports said the fire was discovered about 5:30 p.m. The Coffeyville Fire Department, assisted by the Jackson Fire Department, fought the blaze and was able to contain it to the main building, saving 3 nearby structures, the Vocational Ag Building, lunchroom, and dormitories that house 4th, 5th, and 6th grade classes. The loss was said to be $15,000, and it was noted that the equipment lost was worth more than the building that had 8 classrooms. The training school was the best equipped of the 4 colored high schools in the county, officials said, a news article stated. The cause was believed to have been defective wiring in the home economics department. Woodrow McCorvey was the principal and said at the time that classes would resume the next week in temporary accommodations in the 3 remaining buildings. The school had an enrollment of 347 students. McCorvey would later be principal and coach at Wilson Hall High School, the black high school in Grove Hill, and moved to Atmore in 1955 to be principal of Escambia County Training School. Woodrow Woody M.C. Corvey Jr. is an assistant football coach at Clemson University. He has coached at several colleges in the Southeastern Conference, including the University of Alabama. A news report in April 1956 reported that the Clarke County Board of Education was doing a bond issue to fund construction of a new Clarke County training school. That building would have likely been completed in the next year or two, but no news items could be located to confirm that. When the schools integrated in 1970, Clarke County Training School became Coffeyville Elementary School. Later, as student population declined, the elementary classes moved to Coffeyville High School. Coffeyville High School would eventually be closed as well. A Head Start program operated in a wing of the old school for years but is closed now. The town of Coffeyville owns both buildings today.